Welcome back to Blackout, House of Bob's cyberpunk adventure set in the Vantal Megaplex, powered by the Sprawl RPG system.
Hi, I'm Cristina, and I'll be playing Olivia Crow, once a test subject for the R&D sector of MassCorp, now a low-level runner for the Gastown Sparks.
I'm Shubert. I'll be playing Bunk, the beat hacker.
I'm Dan. I'll be playing Tiz, the hard-nosed reporter, tracking down corruption no matter the cost.
Hey, I'm Alex. I'll be playing the fixer, black market dealer, and conspiracy theorist, Garrett.
Blackout is made possible in part by listeners like you. To support the show, visit patreon.com/thehouseofbob. Roll on. For the fourth time that day, Joseph accidentally makes awkward eye contact with his cubicle neighbor. The cubicle walls were always a little too low for his liking, but now that the Epistle Ergonomics Division has introduced mandatory standing desks, unwelcome social interaction is inevitable. Joseph rocks from one foot to the other, anxiously tapping his pen against the side of his desk. He's going through which excuses he hasn't used recently, in case Lauren and Jisoo ask him to lunch again, when he's dragged out of his meditation by a loud bleep from his terminal, accompanied by a pop-up notification. Employee 41968, Joseph. Report to conference room 12-2 immediately. With an audible groan, Joseph adjusts the collar of his shirt and slowly makes his way down a hallway plastered with memos and posters about posture and repetitive motion injury, to a set of tall gunmetal double doors with a bronze plaque. He pats down a few errant strands of hair using the glossy plaque's reflection and opens the doors. One figure sits at the opposite end of the long glass carbon table. He's hurriedly typing at his pad as a flurry of data and images flash across the lenses of his bright red glasses. He's flanked by two meaty-looking flunkies, all dressed in standard Epistle blue jeans and black turtleneck, one of whom walks over and closes the door behind Joseph. Hey, big guy, thanks for joining us. Wanted to have a quick little check-in, quick little huddle, see how things are going, get a status report on you, you know? Have a seat, Chief. While we're at it, I thought I'd ask you a few questions. See, we're looking to onboard some new talent. We think you might know somebody with the right vibe. You guys go way back. When's the last time you talked with this particular up-and-coming shooting star? The man taps a few buttons on his pad, and a projected image manifests in the center of the room. Joseph's eyes widen and then narrow as he averts his gaze from the holographic image of his old fixer, Garrett.
Up-and-comer.
Yeah, oldest man. This guy knows all the hot things, like
come up to his
technology.
First things first, we do have a little bit of housekeeping to do from the end of the last mission. You should all have at least 6 experience points. The mission itself was worth 5. You had got 1 more experience for choosing additional experience as one of your options, one of your rewards at the end of the mission.
Garrett's got a 7th.
For doing one of your personal directives. So I think...
That's me too.
Yeah, so you have your financial directive.
Oh, it's because I was a stickler about how we got paid.
A greedy SOB.
Yeah, you put the mission at risk in the pursuit of financial gain. Olivia got an extra XP for putting the mission at risk for her own safety, i.e. running away.
I don't think I got any extra, so I just got 6.
Yeah, just 6 for Tiz.
After the mission, each character gets to choose another character that you felt learned a little bit about yourself, or your methods, your personality, how to work with you, that kind of thing. What makes you tick. And that character gains +1 link with you. Bunk and Garrett chose each other due to their time in Olivia's van running interference. And there was also Garrett's awkward attempts to make Bunk think he's cool. Olivia and Tiss worked closely together, trying to manipulate the real estate agent and talk their way past the guards, so they got a +1 link with each other. So now, in future, when you try to assist each other or hinder each other, you get an additional bonus on that roll.
Nice.
Some of you earned a ton of cred from the last mission.
I got a whole fistful of creds.
Yeah. Nickel's pay was generous in Omnicoin and some equipment and information you liquidated. This also represents the reputation you earned on the net and the streets for a mission successfully completed. So, it's not like you just have a stack of cash. It represents a lot of things. To give you an idea of what your cred is worth, there's kind of a list from the book, which I'll just give you some examples. 1 cred gets you kind of basic gear, replacement parts to fix a drone, a chauffeur, useful info from a contact, that kind of thing. 2 cred is a getaway driver, muscle, a street dock for gunshot wounds, or more complex gear like grenades and assault weapons. 4 cred gets you a hacker with professional integrity, discreet medical services for life-threatening wounds, expensive or illegal gear, like vehicles, drones, heavy weapons, attack software. 8 cred would be cutting-edge, military, or extortionately expensive gear, such as a cyber deck, military vehicle, or new cyberware.
I'm sorry, a cyber dick?
Yes, a cyber deck.
Okay.
A cyber deck. Yes, which is...
He is already investing too late.
He's already spent the money.
a cyber deck, which is the tool you use to hack into mainframes and,
Oh, okay.
and jack in and whatnot.
Cool.
Cyber check-in, please.
Last time, you guys succeeded in securing the source of the epistle leak, which was an employee named Trip. You discovered he was selling the data to pay off a local street gang, the Gastown Sparks, who have kidnapped his daughter, Mirth. Originally, you planned on covering for Trip, saying he got away. In the end, you did give away his location. You figured the kind of logic there was since his identity was already out, Epistle would find him eventually. It might as well be now with Nickel, who seemed a little less immediately dangerous. At least she promised that her employer doesn't want to harm the poor hacker. This didn't sit well with Bunk, however, who sent a warning to Trip, giving him enough time to escape before Epistle reaches him. You decided to look into the Gastown Sparks and their involvement with Trip and Mirth. Fortunately, Bunk knows Kobus, the owner of one of the Sparks' hideouts, a nightclub called the Body Bag. Bunk had spoken with Kobus and arranged to play a set there next week. But before we get to that, you guys do have a little bit of downtime in between these missions. First things first, let's start with Garrett, who has some hustling to do.
That's right.
So Garrett is playing a fixer character, and they have a special ability called hustling. Basically, you have some kind of side gigs that you take on in between missions, and they earn you credit and gear and goodies.
It's because no like regular person would hire like a crazy conspiracy theorist. Mm-hmm. So you have to have like a bunch of small little things with a bunch of fucking weirdos to support your lifestyle.
Yeah. So are these jobs that you yourself do, or you have people that do it for you?
No, I have like connections. I have guys. You know, I wouldn't say it's like people who work for me. It's more of like flat anarchist hierarchy of weird drug guys. But being the guy who like, exchanges the money, makes me like a hub for whatever's going on.
You're brokering a bunch of deals. You're making connections happen, and you take your cut.
Exactly, right? I'm around when stuff happens.
Cool.
So I have a crew of 2 people right now. So I get to pick 2 jobs for them to do. One is that I'm brokering some deals. So I'm going to try to launder my Omni into like some street cash. And the other job that I'm going to have a guy do is addictive substances.
Seems like right.
Yeah. In the basement of my place, I have a little like makeshift drug lab. Very small scale though. So not even like large enough scale that I'm looking at like junkie level safety. So it's dicey.
God.
It's dicey down there. So sometimes my guys don't,
what kind of drugs you making?
We're manufacturing stim.
Stim, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a computer chip with some like cocaine on it.
You just snorted right off the computer chip.
No, you just eat it.
The chip?
That's weird.
Yeah. Well,
So
it's really
like
crunchy and it like
Does
cuts
it
up
come
your
in
gums.
a bag of chips?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that kind. I was thinking of microchips.
No,
for some
it's
reason.
microchips.
Oh.
Like
They're
flavor blasted with cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you chew on them and they like cut out the inside of your mouth and then the cocaine like gets
Seeps in through
right
your
in there.
bloodstream.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a better way, but I guess not if we haven't discovered
Not
it
if you're
yet.
like cool and hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're cyber.
Yeah.
You're
Just thinks
extra
you're dumb
cyber.
now.
So we've got a brokering deal and we've got an addictive substance roll. So you roll plus edge, please.
What an edgelord over here.
We can see after the result of the roll, but in theory, this is something that you guys could help with too, if you felt so inclined.
Not
If you
encouraging.
guys want to help
habits.
him with his edging.
Sorry, what exactly are you trying to do here? Because maybe I will help.
He's laundering Omnicoin into offline currencies.
Yeah.
And selling stim to
No, manufacturing stim.
manufacturing stim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say, would you invite Bunk to help you?
I mean, I would offer Bunk a little bit of stim in exchange for helping to stir some up. For dusting some chips. That's what the process is called, is dusting chips.
I don't know if my gums can take that.
So many cut ups in your mouth.
Well, I mean, it's up to Bunk if, he wants to do it himself or just like have some to,
How about,
trade or whatever.
You show me kind of the ropes of the money laundering and I show you some like
Oh, you want to be his
hacking
protege?
tips.
Some hacking tips.
Yeah.
That would probably be helpful for money laundering. So yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So let's see what the result of your roll is first.
9.
So yeah, if Funk wanted to help you, you could get that up to a 10, which is a full
Push
success instead of a partial. Go for it. You can roll the number of links that you have with Garrett.
That's going to be a 7.
Okay.
Yay.
Great. So you do manage your system. You pop it up to a 10, which means total success. You profit from each of your jobs.
Nice.
I'm imagining you went.
So
So you double click on this icon.
yeah.
No, yeah, he did everything right, but he was about to click on some spam.
All right, now close Internet Explorer.
He's got a bunch of toolbars installed.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
His like little hologram pops up and it's got like
Pop-ups everywhere.
and just like a fence of pop-up ads around whatever he's trying to do.
basically, you actually just malwarebytes his
I just
whole
Yeah.
thing.
I just install a tool and in like 5 seconds it just deletes like almost everything on
Yeah.
your computer.
Good job, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old person's computer, so like he probably needs it.
How old is Garrett?
Ambiguously old, 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't ask. It's rude.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I think
kind of
I'm
guessed he
ambiguously
was
old.
like 55-ish.
Don't guess. It's rude.
Well,
Oh, I did.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a
You
day
guess, you
over
just don't have to tell
53.
him.
Yeah.
So from brokering deals, you gain 1 cred.
Okay,
From addictive substances, you gain an intel.
cool.
Basically, your character is reset for the start of the next mission. You do get some time to rest and relax and chill out. So like any old gear or intel is gone, but you get your declare a contact card back. If you have any harm, it goes back down to 0.
Olivia needs that for sure.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got shot up.
Twice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was brutal, actually.
Yeah, I almost died.
Yeah. With my 8 cred, just want to get a good gun, but like an EMP gun, something that just affects electronics.
Sure. 2 credits would be reasonable enough for that.
And it would be like effective against like electronics.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Garrett, while we're on your successful side jobs, was there
Yeah.
anything you needed to buy or do?
Yeah, I have a fuck ton of cred. Is there anything that can like make me stealthier that I can buy?
Camo.
City camo.
Like a Bass Pro Shop cap to wear like under my hoodie?
Depends how hard you want to go. Like you could certainly get like a kind of urban camo setup, which
I mean, I
which would be better
I'm
than nothing.
flush with
called a
cred
suit.
right now.
If you want to go a little more technical, now first the big thing is that you have to be able to find someone who would sell this to you and sell it to you on the down low, right? Which would easily enough be one of your little contacts there.
Yeah.
There's basically a kind of stealth suit that kind of blends in with the surrounding colors a little bit. It's not like invisibility, but it just makes you a little more, makes it more likely that someone's going to look past you.
Right. It's like a tan suit.
Mhm.
You have to find someone who's carrying this kind of technology and is willing to part with it quietly so that, you're not attracting unwanted attention. So if you want to declare a contact, you certainly could. You could also just kind of hit the streets and put it on a roll and hope you get lucky.
Yeah, Garrett doesn't like specifically know someone who deals in like super high tech, but there's a chance that like, just people coming through to, buy some stim or whatever might also trade some other stuff, right? So, yeah, he's just going to hit the street and see if someone happens to like roll in who has something cool like that.
Ooh.
That's a 14.
Holy
Nice.
14.
Yeah,
Your style's +2 or?
that's correct.
Wow. Not only do you get what you want, but you get something a little extra. So you choose either intel or gear and you gain one of those as well.
I'll take a card for gear,
Yep.
please.
The stealth suit is still going to cost you, I think, 4 cred. This would be kind of not strictly legal gear. So, but yeah, you're fine with that.
Okay. Yeah.
He's just laughing because I got so much money.
Yeah, we're okay.
And it's basically just a +1 ongoing to not being spotted. How do you want it to look?
It's just like an old man suit. So it's like sweatpants and and a zip up sweatshirt.
Got like a tracksuit? Like
Yeah, but not quite like,
Oh my God.
trendy enough, right?
A red tracksuit.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing actually, is it has like some microchips that let it change to the nearest like base color,
Ah.
sort of like those TVs with like the glow behind them.
Mm-hmm. You're a chameleon now.
Well, he's an old man who blends in, particularly because you don't want to like look too much at him because you can see a little bit of like chest hair poking out. Yeah.
That's why people actually avert their eyes most of the time.
And then he still like puts his hoodie on top of it, and so he looks like really frumpy.
It's amazing what microchips can do these days.
Yeah.
Tis, during the downtime, you hear a beep on your pad, and you see you have a message. And this message is from Nickel, and it's on the throwaway account that you've used to chat with her before. Another beep, and then a third, and a fourth, and a fifth.
She's very persistent.
And put on spam. Let's just put a filter in there. All right, I'll open the first one.
The first message is just, you really shit the bed on this one, Tis.
Me personally?
Apparently.
You were kind of the go-between,
I guess,
with the group and her, so.
All right, harsh, but okay. I read the next one.
You don't lie to Epistle and get away with it. You don't lie to me and get away with it.
Next one.
I tried to make things work. I really did. I thought we could have an equitable relationship. But it turns out you're all no better than every other scummy street banger with an inflated ego and not enough sense.
Street banger.
God. Gotta write an article on them.
It's very unprofessional.
Titled Epistle Shits the Bed. All right, and I'll keep reading. Let's see if there's anything like, I'm just going to skim now. Sure. Is there anything that like I should be worried about besides their constant threats?
The last message is, you haven't just fucked yourself, though. I hope you realize that. Everybody you know and everybody they know is a target now. They'll go through every degree of separation until they get to you.
Yeah.
You should probably make some phone calls. I won't be contacting you again. And then there's a hand-waving emoticon.
God.
And that's the last message you get from her.
Are you sharing this with us, Tis? Are you like reading this aloud?
Get this, guys.
Just like add it to the group text.
Yeah, I'll forward it. Sure.
Can you believe what these chumps said?
Be like forwards from grandma.
You got to share this, you guys.
Yeah.
The gist of what you're getting here in gameplay terms is that the Epistle action clock is at 2200 after your guys' little stunt last time.
Yeah, thanks, Bunk.
What did I do?
You gave up the dude. Or you didn't give up the dude. You gave him a hint to run away.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I did make them mad at us.
It was good for him, bad for us.
It was the fact that you gave him away and then let him run away. That's what they're mad about. If you just didn't get him, it would have been easier. The point being is that they've probably at least kind of identified your group, probably not individually who you are, but they probably have an internal code name for you, right? And
dumbasses.
And they are actively trying to track you down. So you may hear from them yet.
All right.
So one thing actually you talked about earlier, Dan, is that Tis does have this create a story ability. That's kind of one of the things you could use that story for, is that if you can start a story about Epistle, something that drive their attention elsewhere, then that would lower the clock on you, right? Because they have other things to deal with. But you may also have something else that you want to use that for.
If I release a story, would they necessarily know it was published by me, or is it just like a story out in the whip kind of thing?
So when you start a story, basically we start two clocks. We start your story clock and then a noise clock. You're trying to fill up the story clock before they fill up the noise clock. If they fill it up first, then they've covered it up, and that probably won't help your situation. But if you fill up your clock first, then you've succeeded. You'll either be able to do it anonymously or, have enough protection or whatever, that it's fine.
If they wanted us dead, like...
That's easy
then,
for them.
Yeah, they would have already sent a team.
All right, I'll just leave her on red, and then we'll ignore it for now.
You know what's funny? That's literally the name of this mission.
Oh my God.
I don't think I'm going to start a story. I'm just going to lay low.
Okay. Does Tis have a day job or anything?
It's a reporter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't know if you were just kind of a freelancer or you actually work for a agency.
I do work for a publication. Yeah. More like you're local for like kind of the, not necessarily underground, but the lower tier folk.
Sure. So it's just kind of like a local, like Bantle community publication or something.
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't make a lot of money from it or anything. But
sure. So you're probably, during your downtime, you're probably just working on that. Doing some articles here and there. Nothing sensational.
No.
Olivia.
Yo.
So most of your downtime is rest and recuperation.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It still hurts bad.
Yeah.
But you're back in business, so to speak. You know that you cut it close, though. If it took you much longer to get medical attention, or if one of those bullets hit a slightly worse spot, you might have increased. So how are you spending your time other than sleeping?
Thinking about my mortality.
I bought you some shampoo, so you're allowed to sleep on the beds now.
Okay, thanks.
One cred.
What the fuck?
No,
Never
you're fine.
No. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a little shopping therapy.
Sounds good. What are you buying?
Because my wounds are definitely on my mind. I think I want an in-van med kit for sure. A nice one. And then I was definitely hoping to find some sort of armor, but like armor that I could wear under my clothes or like is very discreet. Like I don't want like a big honkin' bulletproof vest or something like that.
Okay. Sure. Let's start with the med kit, which, it's probably good that at least one of you would have something like this.
Mm-hmm.
There's either trauma derms, which would be 1 credit, and that lets you apply first aid on characters at 2100 or less harm, but it's not good for more severe injuries. Or you can get an EMT kit, which would be 2 creds, and that's apply first aid at any level of harm. But it's still less effective at high harm.
Right. I think I'll go with that one.
Sure.
And what's that one called again?
An EMT kit. As for armor, I think you already have armored clothing.
Yes.
Yep. The ultimate in discrete protection is subdermal plating.
Whoa.
So actually fitting armored plates underneath the skin.
Yeah, like a chitin.
Yeah. That is, a full cyberware installation. It's 8 credits just for the parts, and then probably labor and finding a doctor who's going to do this and not harvest your organs at the same time. If you want to be a little more reasonable, you can just pop up to an armored vest, which is 1 armor. It does look like an armored vest, but that's not that unusual for someone to be wearing that.
Really?
It's a dangerous place. People are often carrying a weapon. The armored vest is an easy 2 cred, and it's just 1 armor, but it's not discreet. If you wanted something that's that armor and discreet, you're probably looking at 4.
4? Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. There isn't anything in the book that is that, so we get to decide what it is.
I was thinking like almost like a sheer material that would be kind of like what you wear underneath your clothes kind of deal.
Like a bodysuit, but made out of some kind of strange carbon fiber weave.
Exactly.
Sure.
A bodysuit.
Yeah.
How much is that?
4.
4.
Would you be able to
Get you a second one?
Yeah.
Maybe I can get a deal, a 2 for...
No deal.
Oh. 4 creds. But I can pick it up on the way.
Yeah, okay.
It's 1 armor, so it'll subtract 1 from every time you take harm, and it has the discrete tag. Bunk. Is there any shopping you wanted to do past your Bucky Weave armor?
Yeah, I just wanted to hop on the dark web there for a sec. I had a couple things in mind, but one thing I wanted was like a bunch of very small bugs, or maybe I could even print these, but basically I want something that beeps really loudly, but is also incredibly tiny.
It's just a little nuisance machine?
Yeah, nuisance bugs, basically, and I want to make like a lot of them. So maybe I could order them online, like in bulk, catch a shipment coming in from somewhere.
It feels a little more specialty. You might have to kind of find someone to get that for you, but does it just make a specific noise, or is it like something you can record into or broadcast to, or?
It just makes a high-pitched beep.
It's pre-programmed with what noises it makes. It's not like you can broadcast to it or anything like that.
That'd be cool, but
Perhaps I could hack into them
at a later date. They're not designed to do that, but maybe you can think of something later.
Yeah, like maybe I could modify them with some transceivers.
That sounds good. Sounds like basically they're just little, I'd probably classify it as like equivalent to buying a drone. It's just a bunch of little things, but it's probably roughly equivalent to that, which would be 4 cred. And you're getting a good amount of them, enough that you won't run out anytime soon.
Anybody want to spot me a couple cred here?
How much do you need?
I just need 2. But I mean, these things are going to come in real handy.
They better. Yeah, I'll give you 2 cred.
Oh, thank you, Olivia. Man, you're nice.
I know.
I'm going to pay you back, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned that.
Heard that before, but thanks.
You're making notes.
Yeah,
Write up an IOU.
Sure. Oh, wait.
You got 8 cred,
Oh, I do. I did have enough.
but you had 4. You
Just
spent
means
4,
you'd have
right?
no
Yeah, I gave
credits.
you 4, and then you said that was 4.
Yeah, that would put you at 0 cred though.
Yeah,
which
It's
is
a bad idea.
But then you can't do any.
Yeah, the
mission
issue is then
stuff.
you don't have any money to
Oh, okay.
stake on the mission.
So you
You could do that and still take a loan from Olivia.
you're cool with spotting me too for
2?
this mission?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll pay you back after.
You could also do something like if you wanted to declare a contact, then maybe you could work out a deal with them. But since you're just
Yeah.
kind of buying it wholesale, then it's just the
I mean,
price.
Olivia's the best
I'm the
contact.
contact. Yeah.
Sounds
Money bags over here.
Like, are you going to charge me? Like
Interest?
Interest?
No.
Oh,
You can
wow.
just pay me straight up too,
Oh,
Cred.
wow. That's so nice.
I mean, you could decide to pay me more than that, but no.
I'll get you a pizza.
Ooh, I'll definitely take a pizza.
Sweet.
So Bunk, you're watching the tracking information on your package, and you get a little notification that pops up on your screen. And this is a message from Trip.
Oh,
And it is as follows. Hey, thanks, man. You gave me another chance. I don't intend to waste it. I know I was being pretty bleak before. I said that I'd turn myself in, but you got me thinking about it, and it's all for nothing if I'm not there to be with her once it's all over. So I sold everything. I cashed in every favor. I spent all my clout. I'm going to get away from here with Mirth one way or another. Whatever cred I have left is yours if you're still willing to help me get her back.
Kind of what we're doing anyway.
But he doesn't know that.
Take
all
the
the
money.
cred, though, too.
You're not going to need a loan.
Effectively, Bunk, you're going to be getting the job for us. So if you have anything you want to say, great. Otherwise, we can just roll the get the job roll and see how it goes.
Do I know that this is like an encrypted line that we're on here? Like, how do I know that somebody's not getting this message?
That'll kind of be part of the get the job roll, because
Okay.
one of the options you can choose is
Right.
that it doesn't attract attention or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah. My goal here is to first kind of make sure that the message that he sent over hasn't been received by
Mhm.
anybody. And once I figure out that it's not being received by anybody,
Yeah.
I send a message back saying, already on it.
But I'm taking that money.
I mean, that was kind of what you guys had agreed to before anyway. So why don't you roll get the job, which is an edge roll, please.
I rolled a 7.
So you get to choose one from the list. The employer provides useful info, you gain an intel. Employer provides useful assets, you gain a gear. The job pays well, which is not applicable. He doesn't have enough money. The meeting doesn't attract attention, which it sounds like probably the one we're picking. And the last one is the employer is identifiable. You already know who he is.
I'm going to go with my gut and say meeting doesn't attract attention.
Perfect. He's been hiding his misdeeds from Epistle for a while, at least, before things went bad. He knows a bit about how to stay secure and hidden, as well as you're pretty good at that with your encryption too. So you know that this line is secure. You can speak freely.
Perfect. Just reiterate. Yeah, we're on it. Thumbs up. Any extra info, let me know.
There's no more info. He's being pretty succinct, indicates that he's got to cut the conversation short.
Mhm.
He's got to lay low, keep it on the DL, basically going underground. He gives you a way to contact him once you're done, but otherwise you won't hear from him again anytime soon.
That's good.
Because he sucks.
Nope, just you should stay hidden. You're just too hot right now, Trip. Too hot.
Okay, cool. So there's a couple things we do right at the start of a mission. One is staking cred. So as a reminder, you can stake between 1 and 3 creds on the success of this mission. It's going to pay you 2 times back in cred if you succeed. However, for each player that stakes 3 creds, you're starting to make some noise, cause some attention. I'll fill in one of the squares on the clocks.
Garrett's
Some
staking
noise.
3 creds.
3 for Tiz.
Ooh.
Bunk is betting it all. I mean,
You have 2.
Two.
All 2 of it.
house money.
Olivia money, but no, Olivia doesn't have a house.
Van money.
I do have a house.
It's just mobile.
Yeah. Mobile home unit.
That's true. It's more than one
2
of us,
for
at least.
Olivia.
And 2 for Olivia.
Yeah, let's not mock Olivia's van. The most useful thing in this
True. This is
campaign.
like tractor.
I was just going to say,
Tractor
it's our
2.0.
key item.
What's the name of your van?
I don't think I gave it a name yet.
Ooh.
Bad
Not
luck,
to name
Betty.
your van.
Bad luck, Betty. Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Well, I was going to say Beauregard.
Beauregard. Nah. I like Bad Luck Betty. That's pretty good.
It's a little auspicious, but
Just call her Betty.
Black Betty.
Bound.
But it's brown.
Bow, ba, now, ba, now. It is brown.
is it brown?
All those vans are almost always like a tan or brown color.
Right,
so.
yeah.
Garrett and Tiss both staked 3, which means the action and Legort clocks will start at 15. Bunk and Olivia staked 2. You guys are set to win twice that back if you succeed on the mission. And that stake also covers your incidental costs for this mission, your gas, your ammunition, that kind of thing.
Cool.
Additionally, at the start of the mission, some of you have special abilities to activate.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with Olivia
Yeah.
because she's sitting beside me. You have your salvaging ability.
Storage, aka scavenge for me.
You getting your birds to find some stuff?
Yeah. 8. I get 1 year relevant to my chosen area of expertise, technology raised in my area of expertise.
Which is garbage.
Yeah.
So your crows, they go and scour the city at night and they bring back strange little knickknacks and bits of twine and that kind of thing. And one of them might be useful later.
I'm like MacGyver, you know?
Bunk. You can 3D print in a similar kind of mechanic.
So I'm going to 3D print some transceivers for these drones.
All right, sure. Roll for it.
So 8.
You do get your 3 little gear, which sounds like you're just spending right away to do these transponders. But you either have to do a little more research or spend more time or get more resources to complete it. So you either bump up legwork or action by 1 or spend a cred.
I will bump up the legwork.
Before this mission even starts, we're at legwork 18 and action 15. Oof. Tiss, I believe you roll for nose for story now.
10.
Nice. So you've got 3 hold for your nose for story ability. Just let you do a few things. You can start a story with them. You can ask questions from the research list, or you can take +1 forward when monstering, which is one of your other abilities that lets you basically hound people with questions to get what you want. That's where we're at. What you guys have planned so far is basically you've just made this meeting with Cobus, who is the owner of the Body Bag, the nightclub in question where the Sparks hang out. Bunk and Cobus have a working relationship from the past. You've arranged to do a show there sometime next week. So whatever you guys want to do to prepare for this infiltration and extraction.
So what do we know about this place? This place is is this a hideout for the gang?
Yeah, basically. Like it is a public club, but you know that it's a front.
I was going to ask, so we kind of determined that this is a subgroup of people I don't know, probably.
You've done missions before with a group that were called the Gastown Sparks. From what you figured out, it seems like there's probably a few different cells or groups of this gang. They don't all work together or kind of work independently of each other. You don't know the people involved in this particular cell.
Okay. That's more what I was thinking is whether or not I have to be worried about running into anybody.
So the only one you know about was the one that Trip told you about, who was kind of his contact, a guy named Fluke. And that's kind of all you know so far.
Okay. Well, probably good to try to look up this guy. I'm sure he's got a record or something.
So we don't know anything about Fluke other than that Trip knows him and that he's his contact.
He was basically the guy collecting the money from Trip.
And demanding more money.
Does anyone want to go clubbing with me?
He's going to be on the stage.
Yeah, I'll be playing a set.
Yeah,
so.
I mean beforehand though.
Oh, pre-drinking.
Yeah.
Let's go.
By days.
You got to camp out early.
Let's go, boy.
Yeah. I heard Bunk's playing here.
Oh, man. He never plays anywhere.
I know, right?
I heard I'm playing here. So I got to check it out.
But Bunk's not the sharpest, it seems like.
He's a master hacker, but
not the brightest LED in the something with LEDs in it.
The AR display.
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, I mean, I feel like it would probably be good to do maybe some background checks on like the names that people we know in this Corbus guy and this other dude.
I could do a story on like local shows in the area. Talk to the owner of the Body Bag or something.
Yeah, that'd be a way to kind of get in and take a look around. Do you want to do some research first, Olivia, it sounded like?
Build some hype for my show.
To.
Sure.
Totally.
Olivia's going to start with a little online research. Tickety-tackety. So why don't you roll research, which is a mind roll.
7.
On a 7, you get to ask me one of those questions. Where would I find blank? How secure is blank? Who or what is related to blank? Who owned or employed blank? Who or what is blank most valuable to? And what is the relationship between blank and blank? Blank and blank are fucking.
Oh, shit. Ooh. I think I would like to find out more about the relationship between Fluke and the Sparks. Maybe see who he knows. If we know anybody.
Fluke is a member of the Sparks, right? We know that.
You know that, but that's kind of all you know about him.
Yeah, I would like to find out more about it.
Sure. So what is the relationship between Fluke and the Gastown Sparks? Sure. You would probably end up doing a little asking around with, some of the people that you know from the Sparks, from kind of your sect, so to speak. And you learn that Fluke, he's actually a little more prominent a figure than you may have thought at first. He does kind of lead this particular sect, this particular group of the Sparks. He's in charge of that cell. So he has a little more clout and a little more presence than maybe you anticipated.
Okay.
Yep.
That sucks.
All right, I put on my bell bottoms and we're going out.
That's what you're wearing, right? Sweet,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Sweet.
Very
I dig it.
retro.
Yeah.
I like how you just, you be you. That's
It's
cool.
brave.
Guys, you're making me feel self-conscious.
All right, let's just go out.
Okay.
So you guys go on a night on the town. Are you going during opening hours? You going before to just kind of scope the place out? Are you trying to get in? What's the general plan?
I want to go before it really gets pumping. Like midday kind of thing when they like first open up or something.
And is everybody coming?
Yeah, I mean, I can go there just kind of,
Scope out the stage.
yeah, pretending like I'm checking things out for a light show that I got to set up.
Okay, so Bunk and Tiss are going for sure. Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, it's still daylight hours, so it makes sense. Garrett's not tired yet. It's what, like 3 p.m? It's barely dinner time.
I thought this would be your sleeping time.
No. That's like
7 o'clock.
late at night, 7 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to be on this mission at all.
He'll find a stool somewhere to have a quick little rest, and he's gonna do his part.
Right.
He's not useless.
I know.
Don't be ageist.
I'm not. I'm
Have
just
to
making
admit.
sure.
Olivia?
I'm going to stay behind, I think.
Okay. Sure. We'll come back to you then.
Guess we're not taking your van.
Nope, you're walking. Or
Hey,
the bus.
I got a bike.
Okay, well, they're walking. You're taking the bus.
Whatever.
It can fit one other person.
I'll take transit. My bell bottoms will get caught in your spokes.
Do you take the bus or a scooter?
I'll take a bus. That's fine.
Sure.
That's how people on the street get around.
All right, sounds good. So Garrett, Bunk, and Tiss head out. The body bag is near the western coast of Vantal, near the Sunshine Coast. As you drive or ride the bus towards it, down the hill in between 2 large buildings, you can see the seawall off in the distance. This side of the seawall, the bottom half is covered in a vast display that shows off an elegant seaside park and gentle sunset. The top half is just covered in advertisements and billboards and ad space. However, that the opposite side of the seed wall is plastered with cameras, sensors, checkpoints, and dispersion deterrent weaponry meant to keep the ever-growing population of refugees, migrants, exiles, and rejects of the Salish Sea refugee city in order. The particular block that the body bag is in is a kind of small commercial area just off of what was once a more upscale main street. Still probably a little more wealthy and populous than where you guys hang out, but it's an obvious decline over the last few years. Many of the shops are closed or abandoned, now providing shelter for the homeless or cover for druggies, gangers, and other no-goodniks. The building the body bag itself is in is a medium high-rise. Bottom few floors are shops and businesses, and the upper levels are residences. On the ground floor, you see from where the body bag must get its name, a morgue and funeral services named Upstate Memorials. From what you've looked up online, you looked up the building's directory, and you know that the body bag is in the second basement level.
Okay. I guess we'll go in.
Maybe we should check around, just like see if there's any other exits to this place, entrances or exits.
Sure. Scope the place out.
Just hearing this place being in a basement.
I'll see if there's other elevators or
I got claustrophobia.
any stairwells.
And you guys are looking at the outside of the building. And yeah, so you do a little scope around the block, see what you can find out. So why don't one of you roll an assess roll, which is edge?
I'm pretty good at edge.
It's an edge roll?
Yeah.
Well, how about we cruise around on my bike?
Okay. You drive, I'll look.
Yeah.
You better roll up your bell bottoms.
Well, that wasn't good.
Well,
No.
you got your bell bottom stuck in the spokes. You were right.
No, I failed that one. I got a 5.
You start to kind of do your lap around the building when Garrett, you feel your phone go off.
Oh, okay. So Garrett pulls out his little phone thing, and there's some tape on it with some like directions written and like an arrow for like where to press the.
He printed off MapQuest.
No, it's like masking tape, like on the phone with like an arrow to where the answer the phone call button is.
And like all the other buttons are like blocked off, so you can't accidentally press the wrong thing.
That's like the saddest thing I've ever heard.
It's really hard.
Makes me sad.
It's really hard to be a technophobe in this universe.
Well, he's not,
Not a phobe, but
it's just, he's not as with it as everyone else, and he doesn't have like a lot of dexterity in his fingers.
Yeah.
You still would have like grown up in the age of like phones.
Right, but he doesn't have a lot of dexterity in his fingers, so it's easy to like press the wrong thing.
All right.
But if you tape over it, you
And his
can't.
vision is bad.
That's right. Yeah.
Stop age shaming him.
Yeah.
Don't be ageist. Dan.
respect your elders.
I mean, I think
respect
you
this.
are being
I lived through the conversion.
So you stop the bike,
Slow down, you kids.
manage to find the right button to answer the call.
Hello?
Well, you hear kind of like
Hello? Sorry.
You know
Okay,
how
I've
phones
got-
work.
Sorry, I've got my Bluetooth in now. Go ahead.
You hear just a little bit of static and like rustling noises and maybe a muffled conversation, but you can't hear out the words.
You sound like you got some kind of pocket on your mouth. Speak up.
You know, that saying that people
Made
say.
sense to me.
And this goes on for about 15 seconds before it hangs up.
It's a pocket dial.
Yeah, you got butt dial.
Trace back that call, man.
Yeah. Can I trace the call?
Or did it say unknown number?
Star 69, eh, Garrett?
Did you pay for caller ID?
How much cred is caller ID?
None. It's part of the package. You just
Okay.
need to opt into it.
It's part of the seniors
Okay.
But did you
package.
know that you could turn that on?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think we turned that on for you.
The nice cell phone vendor helped you set up your phone.
Yeah, because Bunk also just earlier helped, right?
Yeah.
He helped me with some technology stuff in
And
exchange
you're like,
for
while
some.
you're here, can you make my VCR stop blinking? And I would like to get my caller ID working.
You brought your whole VCR with you?
Wow.
It was a whole IT sesh.
Yeah. There's a lot of wires at Garrett's place. He's
Oh, I
not.
believe that.
Yeah. It's a lot of wires.
You bring up the missed call list there, and you see that it was from Joseph.
I know Joseph.
Yes, and to remind everybody, Joseph is the epistle programmer that
That's
you
right.
have a relationship with. You've helped him get some items before.
That's right.
Partially legal items. He also helped you out just by identifying Nickel and Blunderbuss Bailey for you, confirming their
Was
stories.
he the one who helped us with QuickBox?
No.
No?
He
Okay.
did help me write some of the labels on my communication pad, though.
Okay.
How do you guys know each other?
He helped me write some of the labels on my communication pad. And I thought he was nice, and I took his card.
You also sold him drugs.
Yes. Wow.
That's not really friendship. That's business.
That's business.
That's business.
And Garrett tries to keep that on the DL, you know?
A few moments later, you receive a text message from the same number with a list of coordinates.
Okay. And since I still have my like pad out, I see it before it gets like lost in the list of 5,000 unread notifications.
See, you're saying we're ageist, but your description of this person is a clown.
No.
He's a walking stereotype.
All right.
You
Let's,
can't have some sympathy?
Why
I
don't you-
do. I feel so much sympathy.
Yeah, Olivia should really be here to like guide you.
But I decided to pawn him off on you guys and do my own thing.
While you decide what you want to do with that, let's check in with Olivia.
So since I was asking around about Fluke, I kind of wanted to use maybe one of my contacts to see if maybe I could get like a meeting, maybe not with him directly because he sounds like a bit of a bigwig, but maybe somebody on his gang because I'm always trying to like, move up in the gang anyways. So
You're in the gang?
You're in a gang?
I've been in those parts, but you guys don't know that.
You guys are not
Oh
there.
my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So who is your contact?
Gassy Jack. Yeah, exactly. This is why he works only with low level people. So Supposedly, Gassy, in his time that he was named, means he talks too much.
Oh.
Not that he just farts, but that's what we also thought.
Okay.
He's one of those burp talkers where he just keeps talking through his burps.
I mean, I guess. I meant
Like
more
John
like
Mulaney.
someone who just doesn't stop talking.
All right. How do you know Gassy Jack?
He was the one who sort of recruited, me and the other guys.
What would you say your relationship is with him?
I mean, it's
Sexual.
strictly professional.
Tense.
But he also knows me for being a little bit annoying because I think I'm always trying to move up. So I'm like,
Right.
You got any jobs, Jack?
Please call me Gassy.
GJ?
All right. Sounds good. And where do you think you would meet a Gassy Jack?
Well, probably.
The gas station.
Yeah, in the Gastown district.
Mhm.
I almost think he's the kind of guy who, since he's so low level, he runs it out of his apartment, kind of. So, we do know where he lives.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has at least an apartment where
Yeah.
you meet him.
He's like a Garrett 2.0,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
which is why I'm so used to
Yeah. When people go to buy drugs from him, they have to hang out and play PlayStation for a while to keep it
chill.
Yeah, you have to be friends with your dealer.
It's a whole day.
You call up GJ and you head over to his place.
Mm-hmm. Do I need to use my contact for
Yes, you expend your contact card. He opens the door and this big cloud of smoke comes out the front.
I put my mask
Amazing.
on.
Hey,
get your rebreather.
Olivia.
They're all smoking spice.
Yeah, I definitely have a mascot mask for this guy specifically.
It's rude.
Hey, man, I'm taking care of my lungs.
What brings you to my neck of the woods?
Oh, GJ, I'm looking to get another job just past that other one. Flying colors, as you might remember.
Yeah, I remember.
He clearly does not.
Sure. So what are you asking of him?
I was just gonna see if he has any other jobs, and maybe he says yeah, but I'm like, oh man, DJ, I'm looking to do something a little more hardcore. I don't know. I'm tired of just boosting cars and stealing wallets.
So you're trying to steer him in the direction of getting a job with this other cell that seems to be doing a little more extreme stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Sure. So why don't you roll a hit the street, which is style. We'll see how well this goes.
Do I get a bonus for using my contact?
No.
Aw.
You just know the right guy to ask.
Mm.
And you get to say that he's your friend instead of...
Right. God damn it. 6, unfortunately.
Oh. He seems a little hesitant. It seems like he's suggesting it's a bit out of his hands,
Mhm.
that he doesn't really have the permissions or the clout to do what you're asking for him.
But you know someone who could help me.
You might be able to convince him. Normally on a 7 to 9, you'd choose 2 consequences. If you choose 3 consequences, I'll let you succeed.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take 3. It's going to cost me extra. I'll have to owe fucking GJ a favor, and that's never good. The contact needs you to help them out with something. And then I'm going to go with, it probably will take time for him to put this together.
Okay. So he will get you a meeting with someone in Fluke's gang. Yeah, I'll do that for you. You're my friend.
Yeah, man, we're friends.
But it's going to cost you something extra. He needs you to do something in return, and it's going to take time. I think we'll figure out what the extra and need you to do something is later.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, it's just going to take time. He's going to go out and start knocking on doors and talking to the people that he needs to talk to get that done. I think how we'll play that is that you won't get the meeting until immediately before we start the mission.
Okay.
So you won't really have much time to react to what you learn or what
Okay.
have you. Back to Garrett, Bunk, Tis.
All right. We scoped out the place. We're going in.
So we scoped out the place, but we didn't actually find any other entrances or exits, which is a little concerning.
Garrett has figured out where all the bathrooms are.
That's good.
You did a block, but you couldn't figure out kind of which doors lead to what. This is a big commercial building, so there's a lot of entrances and exits, and none of them are labeled in the way that would be helpful to you. So you didn't get any more information from the outside. But you could head on down or do online research or whatever you want to do.
Let's head on in.
Yep.
You head into the lobby, hit that elevator button that you saw before,
Pound that too.
boom, and you head down. The elevator opens up into it's kind of concrete basement kind of look. Heads down a hallway for a little bit before you see a door. In front of that door is a line of people.
Oh, weird. We came at noon. Weird. This place is bumping.
It's not a huge line. There's 3 people.
Oh, okay. I can get in line.
But camping out
Yeah,
is
now
still
there's
pretty
6
good.
people in line.
You get in line?
You guys bunk heads?
I never get
You guys
in
bunk
line.
You don't
buddies?
have to. You're the talent.
I just walk past the bouncer.
I get in line.
You walk up to the front and the bouncer sees you heading towards the door, and you see a kind of small, compact, but incredibly muscular woman, kind of short and stout and tough. She steps in front of you and goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Back of the line.
I just point at my face.
And then at the poster. That's right next to her.
Yeah, and then I point at the poster that's on the wall. And then I point back at me.
She narrows her eyes at you and gives you a bit of a I have to deal with these smartasses all day, every day look, but steps aside.
All right.
Oh,
Always nice to meet a fan.
you sign the poster on your way in. I still wait in line.
Well, you want to be inconspicuous, don't you?
Yeah. I'm not trying to piss off anyone right off the bat.
That's
Okay.
probably smart.
Just let me know when I'm in.
You get it. I'm not going to
Yay.
separate you guys for no reason. All right. Inside the body bag. So the body bag itself, it's a concrete room as well. You see in the center of the room is an elevated dance floor, and on the far wall, a stage. You can see on the roof are tons of different lighting fixtures and smoke machines and hollow projectors and little gadgets that you know will be used during various shows to trip out people that are on various hallucinogenics. On one wall is a bar. There's no one behind the counter right now, but a couple people sitting at the bar counter. And you see that they're eating. It looks like they serve food here too. On the opposite wall of the bar, there are rows of metal lockers, kind of rectangular small ones. And it takes you a moment, but you put it together that they appear to be morgue-style cold freeze lockers. There's maybe about a dozen people in here right now. A few people at the bar eating, like I said. Some other people just chatting in the middle of the room near the dance floor. But not a lot of action yet, as you would expect.
Okay, Bunk walks up to the bar and he orders the equivalent of like a soda pop. A mega fizz.
How poppin' is it in here?
Not super popping yet, as
Early.
it's still early.
Yeah. Is there any like live music being played right now? Or is it just like
there's
house
probably
music?
like an amateur
Yeah.
DJ.
Yeah, there's a kind of amateur DJ trying to get people hyped up and pumped up, but most of them are
Free bird.
most of them are like on their
It's a
lunch
club.
break or whatever and not really into it.
I'm wearing bell bottoms. Do you think I know what's happening?
Would you know if it's bumping then?
Okay, I'm gonna get a booth and wait on the server.
Sure.
Get my drink on.
Garrett and Bunk?
I'm at the bar getting the drinks.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, are you getting drinks for us?
Yeah,
or-
I'll get drinks for us.
Okay, then I'll have to go up there and talk to them then. I was going to talk to the waitress when she came to my table.
Oh, okay.
Now I got to get up.
She's not getting a tip now, that's for sure.
This is the hardest part of any campaign is do you sit in the booth? Do you sit in the bar
Yeah.
at the bar?
All right, I'll sit at the bar then, but I'm going to sit separate from these guys.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Olivia, if at any point you want to catch
Are
up with
you
these guys, you
sitting
could.
with me, Garrett, or are you also sitting separate?
Well, I am, but
Cool.
nobody is noticing.
Yeah.
It's for a reason. It's not
Yeah,
because I
like
just
you
like
sit
you.
right beside me.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I
as
think
far as anyone at the bar is concerned, you're sitting by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GJ kind of told me that, wait in my contact will meet me at the thing. So I'm just going to go.
Okay.
One of the things I definitely want to do is I'm going to go to the ladies' room and open the window so my little guys can get in.
Oh, okay. Sure.
That's a weird
boy.
way of putting it.
my birds.
Yeah. Very good.
Because I can't just walk in with them. They'll be like, get the fuck out of here.
Weird bird person.
Now, this is a basement.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true.
You're going to have to smuggle them in your coat.
Maybe I have to do that. I got a special backpack.
Aw.
It's like a backpack, but with like a cage built inside.
Yeah, and it really wrangle jangles. Because all the cage stuff.
Do they do baggage checks?
Probably on a show night, but
I imagine they
Not
do
right
if
now.
they have a
Security,
gang
yeah.
that hangs out there.
Yeah, but it's not busy.
You'd be like,
Yeah.
they'll just open the backpack. Just birds. Let her through.
I'm going to eat these later.
no outside food or drink. Do you want to try to sneak them in?
Yeah. What is a sneak?
Probably just act under pressure. Keep it cool.
Act under pressure.
Keep it breezy.
Cool.
Are you sneaking into the club right now?
I'm sneaking my birds into the club.
Yeah, she's coming in through the front entrance, but with birds in backpack.
9.
Sure. Yeah. Again, they're not doing like heavy back checks or anything right now, so you get through without too much trouble. Sounds good.
I try to spot these guys.
Sure. You see them sitting in 3 separate groups at the bar.
Well, you don't see Garrett at all.
No, it just my eyes glaze right over him.
You see Bunk sitting in the bar, and then you see Tiffs off to the side.
Well, I go hang out with Bunk.
Sweet.
That's fair.
Garrett says, "Hello."
Hello.
Yeah, Garrett's here too.
And I'm looking around even though I answer.
After a little longer of a wait than you normally would have liked, a bartender emerges from the back room behind the bar. Hey, what are you getting?
Sorry, man. I ordered a Mega Fizz.
Is Ultra Fizz okay?
Sweeter.
You can't actually see Bunk's face, but you see his AR display, just like the eyes droop. And he's like, all right.
I'll just have a water.
Yeah, I guess Ultra Fizz is fine.
All right. He reaches behind the counter, pops open a little bottle, pours some Ultra Fizz into it, and you throw it immediately into the trash.
But you still pay for
I
it.
take a sip and I'm just like, ugh.
It's not as good.
He nods at Tiss and Garrett and Olivia in turn.
I order whatever, some random drink, some fruity, delicious cocktail. Sex on the West Coast.
Yeah.
That.
I'm going to try to prod the bartender into chatting with me a little.
Sure.
Looks like a quiet evening today. Is this your normal crowd?
Quiet afternoon, anyway.
That's true. Do you know if you're... I'm curious. I'm doing a little expose on this place. Well, not an expose. Just
that sounds really bad.
I'm blowing this place up. Yeah. No, I'm
A review.
I'm doing a review on places that host local talent, and I heard this place was kind of, the new hotness. They play a lot of good local bands and local artists.
He's bored enough right now that he's willing to entertain your questions. What are you getting at?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of local crowds that brings in. What's the type of people that come through here?
There's a big cyber goth movement here.
Pretty lame, but okay.
Yeah, even Tiss knows that's lame.
Yeah, I look around. Are there a bunch of like cyber goths here?
There's a few. You see the telltale cyber goth signs of basically like the classic is the like fake dreadlocks that are made out of like cables and wire and
Real
tubing
Matrix
and things like that. Yeah.
Somehow the like worst fashion from our time has survived.
Yeah, of course.
It's back.
That's always how fashion works.
Dear Lord.
You guys are all just jealous.
Yeah.
They have like vampire fangs, but they're microchips.
Whoa. A lot of like LEDs and things that glow.
Oh yeah, totally.
All right. So I started asking questions about like the clientele and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, here's something I have heard though. I've heard you've had kind of a gang issue in this bar. I've heard some stuff about some unsavory types that tend to hang out here. What do you say about that?
Roll.
Okay.
Edge?
Yeah. So I got a 9.
A 9. So you can actually spend one of your nose for a story points to get +1 on that.
Ooh yeah.
Done. I'll do it for a 10.
Yeah.
That means he has to answer my questions.
They tell you the truth regardless of the consequences. Note those consequences are not necessarily only for him. You kind of catch him off guard in a tricky series of questions. He's like, we get all types here. So some are good, some are... no, they're all good. They're fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is there any sparks here right now?
And you see him look over towards a few people on the dance floor and then look back at you. No, but no. And he's nodding his head over towards them.
I nod. Okay. Thanks. That's great. And then I'll turn on my glasses. They have recording devices built in them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just use it to take a quick snapshot of the people at the bar or at the booth that he pointed to or whatever.
You pop a pic. There's 3 people, a woman and 2 men that are chatting over in the corner. They're all dressed up in their cyber goth regalia.
Am I under the impression that the Sparks, they're into this movement as well?
At least these ones are.
Hard to say. It could just be that these three like it. It could be that it's kind of part of their cover.
This is the worst game.
Well, and don't forget, there's different like sects to the sparks.
Yeah.
Different cells.
Could just be that these three just happen to like it.
It's the cybergoth cell.
The easiest to spot in a crowd. All right.
Yeah, it's not very subtle.
No. All right. I'm not going to push him any harder.
Sure. He retreats to the back to wash his hands.
And regain his composure.
Yeah.
While he's walking by, I just catch his attention at some point, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, what's with the fridges? You know, the dead body fridges. What's up with those?"
He says, they're closed right now. And he goes to the back room.
That sounds so ominous.
I just turn to Garrett and Olivia like, was that not the most suspicious thing you've ever heard in your life?
Yeah, I'm literally shaking my head. That was the worst cover I've ever heard.
A moment later, a less frazzled bartender comes out and you ask them the same question and they say, oh, they're VR booths, but they're not open until later.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Garrett, your phone buzzes again.
It distracts Garrett from looking for pickles at the bar.
Okay.
Is that like the name of your cat?
No, it's just, it's just something.
Where do you think we are right now?
Pickles!
It just
Pickles
feels,
here, boy.
I don't know. It just feels like the kind of thing that like old people would look for at the bar, you know?
No.
Pickles.
I think they like just regular bar food.
Or like a.
Why are you a senior
olives.
citizen all of a sudden?
I know.
I've been a senior citizen since
The whole
you're
time.
Really
since the whole
cranking
time.
up the extra bits.
Are you doing anything important?
Look at your
phone went
phone.
off. Yeah.
His phone buzzes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The exact same message as last time, just duplicated.
Oh, okay. Does he see it this time?
It's up to you, I guess.
Can Bunk
No.
see it?
You're nerfing yourself.
Can Bunk roll to see it? I mean,
You just take the phone from
You're
his hand.
watching over his shoulder.
I mean, it goes like, and I'm like, did you get a message there, man?
Pulls it out and he checks, and it's at the top of the list of billion notifications.
Oh my God.
What's it say?
Oh, it's just the same GPS coordinates from the last message.
What does
okay.
that mean? I ask you.
Garrett says, "Oh, that's a good question.
Hey, Garrett, do you mind if I like see your phone for a second?
Yeah, if you want to help me with it, of course."
Oh man, I would love to.
Such a nice young man.
Okay,
Such a nice young man.
I like jack into his phone. I delete
Just reformat
everything.
it.
Yeah.
I
Factory
reformat.
reset.
There's nothing there but backgammon anyway. Backgammon and notifications
It's
about
just-
backgammon.
Set it up to forward all his messages to you.
I was literally saying that.
I mean, can I do that?
Yeah, you could do that on a normal phone. You don't need to be a hacker to do that.
Fuck.
I mean,
But to Garrett, he is a hacker for this.
okay, I do that.
All right, good.
And then I hand the phone back. I'm now getting all of Garrett's messages. I'm writing that down.
And the notification pops up that you got coordinates.
And I have a new friend on Backgammon.
You start immediately getting a bunch of like newsletters from
Oh,
Burn
my
Nightly
God.
and different conspiracy groups. And
Yeah. Damn it. I thought I deleted all those.
I think you need to have like a
just
filter
keep coming back.
specifically
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah. I turn on my new Garrett filter that filters out all his bullshit and just gets the important messages.
there's a bunch of collections requests from one collections agencies that he's
Yeah.
defaulted on a bunch of loans and things like that.
Well, they wouldn't take whatever currency he was trying to give them.
But yeah, so you go through the last few messages on his phone. You saw there was a voice call from this number and then two of the same message with a list of GPS coordinates through text in the past hour or so.
Do you know who this was, Garrett?
I mean, Garrett only has like 4 contacts in his phone. Does it have a name attached to it?
That seems weird considering your whole thing is contacts.
No, they're not in his phone.
They're not in his phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're in his brain.
Wasn't it Josh or something?
Joseph.
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 Oh,
yeah.
it's Joseph.
It's my friend at Epistle who helped me with my phone once.
Oh, he kind of is seeming unfriendly at the moment.
He seems very persistent
Yeah, he's
with these
blowing up your
coordinates.
phone.
Should we check out this spot?
I think so.
All right, let's do some research. Should we get out of here? Or should
It's so early. Like, we don't really need to be here.
I was just gonna go talk to the people he pointed out to me.
Okay,
Sure.
you can stay. We can do something.
If you guys are going on kind of a side mission, that's probably going to mean that you're not available for the rest of this legwork phase, right? So
I think I'm kind of done, though. I'm waiting for my contact.
sure. So certainly Olivia and Garrett can go on a little side quest. Bunk, do you want to go with them and let Tis do the rest of the questioning here?
Oh my god.
Good luck.
I'm the sole information gatherer for this mission.
But you were trying to stay away from me anyway.
Yeah.
You were trying to like keep your distance. So I feel like
in this place, but
you're
like,
more invisible if I...
it was just for
leave.
now. It wasn't for okay.
But we're coming back.
In 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to The House of Bob. Artwork was created by Sean Makes on Instagram. Audio production is provided by Astronomic Audio. Music is produced by John R. Julius and licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe for more content, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, follow us on social media, and join our Discord server. Blackout is made possible by our amazing Patreon supporters: Ray Kearney, Tom Wesley, Rob, Bluckett12, Jessica, Kieran Duffy, Mike of the Tales from the Glass-Guarded World podcast, Sylvia Douglas, Luke Conroy, and Volt. If you'd like to be a part of making this podcast possible, please visit patreon.com/thehouseofbob. Whether you want to have this on the air or not is up to you, Alex.
Let's just put it all on the air verbatim like we always do.
Cool. Sounds good.
Never edit.
Keep all this in, Alex.
Yeah, okay.
Don't edit it all.
Take most of it
We're
out.
starting from now.